clothing closet, they're needing men's shorts and men's jeans, size 28s to 34s, and men's shoes, size 13. Ooh, that's a big old foot. The clothing closet depends on the needs. Says that the women's small and medium underwear, men's boxers of all sizes, t-shirts for men and women, and jeans and shoes. So if anybody can donate any of those items and you not able to get it to Christian Ministries, I don't know if y'all know it or not, but Kelly's mom, Shirley, works there. So you can actually put it in the Welcome Center. Is behind the desk. There's a copier there, and there's a big box there. Anything goes to Christian Ministry goes in that box. So if you have any of those items that you would like to donate, you can feel free to put those in there, and Shirley will take those, or Robert will get it and take it. And also they are needing food for our box out here. I tried to go back and look at the camera because they filled that up on Sunday. Well, Monday wasn't a thing in it. Everything was gone. So I went to look at the cameras. Well, camera 8 and camera 9 don't record. So, yeah. So, if anybody can bring anything, remember to mark out the barcode so they can't take it back and get money for it, okay? We do our birthday bag for Carolina Karen, and that's on Sunday, June the 12th at 2:30. July the 12th. She's got a list of items. There's going to be 18 residents we're going to be filling bags for, and they're only wanting soft snacks that's pre-packaged, like Little Debbie's and Cheese Puffs, everything that's already pre-wrapped, fruit bars and stuff like that. No hard candy or any kind of hard snack. Now, they love the cheese puffs. You get them cheese puffs. We sat down there and watched a couple of them. They did everything in that bag before they got out of that room. I don't know if they're afraid somebody take it from them or what, but yeah. But we'll be furnishing the ice cream. We'll be furnishing ice cream and cupcakes and the soft drinks for them. So, but there's snacks, lotions, hand sanitizers, chapsticks, individual tissues, playing cards, puzzles, devotionals, Bibles, no-slip socks, and small lap blankets. And she's asking that you bring all of that in by July the 8th. Do y'all want me to pass this around? And y'all can sign up. Now, you can sign up to bring all 18, or you put on there how many items. I know some people's already signed up, but you need to put on there how many you want to furnish so we're not overabundant in what we're needing. So if y'all can just sign up for whatever, and if you don't want, you don't have to donate nothing. I think she already has the birthday bags that it goes in. And also, I tried to get the list for the blood drive. That's on July 6th. I tried to get the list and I can't get it, so I'm gonna have to find out from her how I can get the list, because some people go online like I do, and I didn't sign up early. So I'm gonna try to get that. Well, if you put your name on that paper, let me know, or if you can go on the app and do it yourself. I can't go on the app and do it for you, but I can go through the church login and put your name in. I think your name and date of birth is all I have to do that. I'm not sure, but and it's from 2:30 to 3:30, and it'll be in the fellowship hall. So, huh? What did I say? 2:30 to 6:30. Do I just need to go back home? I ain't got nothing right, Kelly. All right. And Sunday's Father's Day. Y'all better be ready. All right. Y'all ready? We're going to get started. Joey is on vacation with her whole family. So far, they're so y'all just keep them in their prayers. I think they're coming home on Friday. I'm not real sure. I'm not going to say for sure, but they'll be home. So y'all pray for me, and I did a little devotion. We'll see how long it lasts, but I did one on Ruth, and it inspired me that Helen gave me a book. It's 12 women in the Bible, and some things you may not know about some of them, and I'd read a couple of them, so I thought, well, I'm going to pick Ruth, and we'll just go, because I thought about doing something about Father's Day, but it's women in here. We don't want to talk about them tonight. They get their day Sunday. Yeah. So we're going to talk about Ruth, faithfulness in difficult times. The scripture is from Ruth 1 through 4, King James Version. Naomi had experienced great sorrow. Her husband died, and later both her sons had died. She was left here with her two daughter-in-laws, Ruth and Oprah. Naomi decided to return to Bethlehem and encouraged the young women to stay in their homeland. Oprah kissed Naomi goodbye, but Ruth made a different choice. She loved Naomi and would not leave her. Ruth said, "Without thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God." Ruth 1:16. Ruth followed Naomi back to Bethlehem with no promises of wealth, comfort, or security. She simply trusted God and remained faithful. To provide food for herself and Naomi, Ruth gathered leftover grains in the fields. She worked humbly and diligently. The owner of the field, Boaz, noticed her kindness and faithfulness. He treated her with respect and later became her husband. What seemed like an ordinary act of loyalty became part of God's greatest plan. Ruth became the great-grandmother of King David, and through her family line came Jesus Christ. Lessons in faithfulness matters. Ruth did not know how God would provide, but she remained faithful one day at a time. How many of us do that? We ask God, we need help, we need this. How many of us wait on Him to see what He does, or we just try to solve it ourselves? We have that faith or not? 90% of the time we don't. Like, oh, I got to get it done today. I can't wait till tomorrow. Well, it might not even be tomorrow. It might be another week, a month. We don't never know. Yeah. God sees our quiet requests. Ruth was not seeking recognition. She simply did what needed to be done, and God honored her. She waited, she followed, He showed her, and she did. God can bring blessings after sorrow. Naomi thought her best days were behind her, yet God restored her joy to her life. And, by giving her, she had another husband, somebody that respected her and seen that she respected and was faithful and loyal. So He provided her with some joy. Small acts of love have eternal impact. Ruth's decision to stay with Naomi changed generations to come. How do we think that came about? Do you think there's some of us that are more like Ruth? Nobody? I would say so. There's some. You think back about your grandparents and your great-grandparents. There was a lot of faithful people back in the day. Many women spend their lives caring for their family, serving in the church, helping friends, and praying for others. Sometimes these acts seem unnoticed. Ruth's story reminds us that God sees every act of faithfulness. What appears small in our eyes may be a part of a much bigger plan in His. So, sometimes you show acts of kindness to family, friends, and like say for instance, you worked in Bible school. Well, everybody might not know you worked in Bible school. Maybe nobody said anything to you or anything. But you were not unnoticed in God's eyes. I can promise you that. And even though you weren't called out and told that you did a great job, if you did bad, you'd have known it. If you did bad, you'd know it. But you don't always say something. You don't always say something. Maybe that's where we lack sometimes. We need to tell people we appreciate them. Oh, we got a beautiful card to the craft team from a class. Not going to name, but it had all the little kids' names on it, how much they appreciated the crafts and the teachers and all we did, which was sweet, coming from little ones. So, it does make people feel good. We all like to be recognized sometimes. Huh? Did they? Now my feelings is hurt. Did you get one too?
The music in the sound room, but I kept it. I showed it to them. It's in my bag.
Yeah, I kept it. Well, come to think of it, we were special girls. All you craft people out there, we wasn't the only one special. Sorry.
Mine had money in it.
No, it did not. You really gonna get me? Leave it to Kelly, get the last word. No, but I mean, that's a good gesture. Good gesture. Can you think of a time when God used a small act of kindness in your life to bring about a blessing later on? Now, this is a question for y'all to answer. Can you? Right, right. You wonder, like, why did this happen? You think back, yeah. Yep, giving something up. Or doing something for somebody, even though you didn't want to do it, you helped them out anyway. Anybody else? Mm-hmm. That's all that matters.
When Salem was in the hospital for his brain injury,
Mm-hmm.
Clint also lost his job at the same time, and I was not leaving the hospital, so we didn't have any income coming in. But a lot of people were donating and just blessing us, and so one of the other church members, her husband went in the hospital while we were there, and the Lord told me, like, we've got to give her some of this money, but it was so hard because
You knew you needed it.
yeah, we've got family that we can always go to and stuff like that, but we didn't want to have to lean on them. So Clint and I discussed it and gave that lady $50, and then the next day we donated her money.
So see,
He does.
yeah, I think we all went through that when we first get married. Wow. Exactly. That's right. You're absolutely right. I've been through the same thing. Yeah. The day we found out my husband had cancer, yeah, I was like, well, I wasn't worried about it because we had drove different vehicles because he was coming from work, so I met him there, and we got home, and we just prayed about it. We just said, it's up to God. We're going to leave it up to him. He's going to have this surgery and all. And then all the chemo and all the radiation he had to take, I think it was like 38 radiations and 6 weeks or so of chemo, and I even had to take him, like the last 3 or 4 weeks of chemo, I had to take him to have, he had got dehydrated, so they had to give him something, so I'd have to take him for that too. And in all that time, because he didn't draw any money, he wasn't getting a paycheck. I work here, y'all know what I make, nothing hardly. And my cake business, of course, I had to put some of that on the back burner while, doing this. But then the IRS comes in at the worst time and drained everything out of our bank account but 1 penny. I'm like, what are we gonna do? But yeah, a family member and a church member, we borrowed the money to pay the bills to get us by. The IRS was wrong. We got the money back plus the interest, which that was a blessing. But through it all, we never, like you said, we never hurt for anything, needed anything. The bills never got behind. The bills stayed paid on time. We were loved on this church, and we never asked for anything. And they never did a love offering. I said, no, we don't need one, until the time came years down the road when Norman found out that the radiation had killed all his teeth, that they were going to have to be surgically removed and all. And the church took up a love offering. And at that time, it was the most the church had taken since I'd been here in 20 years. And it was enough to pay every dime of what Norman needed for that to be done, because even if you're on disability and you get Medicaid and Medicare, there's some things they don't pay everything for, but this had to be done. He had no choice because they were breaking off and falling out on their own. So through all of that, though, to say that God took care of us and carried us through. And then when he's cancer-free, he ends up and has a triple bypass. He had a heart attack. And I'm like, Lord, what have we done wrong? Everything's just like when you think everything's good, and then that comes along. And then a year after his checkup in July, that August, Norman passed away while out driving a truck. And I was never worried about me taking care of myself because I made extra money. But I knew if I went before Norman, I was worried that he wouldn't be able to do that, which I'm sure he could have. But anyway, for a long story short, I'm taking care of myself. I don't ask anybody for anything. I rely on sales, doing this and doing that. My cake business has carried me. I've had a lot of friends over the years. They had babies, and now they got babies, and I'm getting old. Okay, and the babies are getting married, yeah, so. And my cake business has slowed down a lot, which that was something I asked for because I just felt like it made my health decline, because I spent a lot of Friday nights, Thursdays and Friday nights not sleeping because I needed to get this done. I would have 20-something cakes to have done by Saturday. Yeah. And the day that Norman passed, that morning when the pastor and Rod had come to tell me that he got that phone call, I had cakes that weren't finished. I went to bed at 3 o'clock, and the pastor called and woke me up at 6 o'clock. And I was like, what is the preacher doing at my house at 6 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, so a lot of my friends came in. Shelby and a lot of my friends came in. Were trying to help me with these cakes, to get these cakes done for these people. And I got every one of them done. But listen, don't ever try to show somebody how to do a cupcake if they ain't never done it, because it will not. You can't. People will send me messages and say, I want just something simple like this. Lady, if it's that simple, you need to do it yourself because you don't understand simple. That's not simple. But some of them try to do them cupcakes. I'm like, y'all just bag it up, box it, tag my cartons, and let me just do it because I can have them done before I get y'all to talk and have to clean up the mess. So that's what we did. I got all of them done but one cake, and he did not want to be understanding about it. And I said, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it's going to have to be. I can't do it. I'm done. I can't. I'm physically and mentally burnt out. I can't do it. And I try to think back to that day, and I don't remember a lot of stuff that happened and the people that came because I was just in a fog, worried about everything. God's really took care of me. And I'm able to help people. I donate all the time. There's an auction. If they have food and stuff left over, they'll say, anybody that wants to donate, they knock $1 or something off, and you can donate to that Christian Ministries. They feed 300. Thank you. They feed 300 people down there every Tuesday and Thursday. So the man comes in and gets all the food and stuff. So I donate down there. I donate to Christian Ministries. I donate to her box out here. I try to donate whenever and whatever I can if somebody has a need. And I even donate for different things that people have, that they're trying to do for charity or whatever, baking cakes or cupcakes and stuff like that. Because at one point I'm like, how can I afford to do this? But God said, you do it and I'll show you. So through all that, you got to believe, you got to trust, and you got to have faith. Because if you don't, you'll never know. You'll never know. That's what I've always said. I can't afford not to give my tithes because if I didn't, I wouldn't want to know what kind of because the Lord's going to get your money, whether it's through a car repair, a house repair, or an unexpected bill comes up, or something's going to happen. Something's going to happen, and then you think about it. Do I pay my tithes? Do I pay my tithes? And that's something we've never skipped on. Because when we first started, you just skip a few dollars here and there. And Norman talked to Dean, and Dean said, well, you can tithe before your taxes or you can tithe after your taxes. So what we always did is whatever we brought home, that's what we tithed on. And then when it came tax time, whatever money we got, 10% of that money went back to the church. We went and gave that too. But if you're going through a lot of rough spots and hard times and you don't pay your tithes, like they say, try it for 1 month. Try it for 1 month. And if it don't work for you, but you got to give with your heart. Yeah, you got to give with your heart. You don't give because you feel like you have to. You give because you want to, because it's the right thing to do. And always donating and doing things for the church is always a blessing too. So I'm just thankful that he's carried me, and I hope he's carried you. That's my prayer. This story speaks about friendship, loyalty, service, and trust in God's life in hardships. And we've all been through hardships. We all have been through hardships. So that's my prayer to y'all, that you lean more on God and his understanding and what he would have you to do and not what you want to do. Does anybody have anything to add? know, I've been on so many mission trips, and several times we were like, we was wondering how we was gonna have the money and the stuff to do that that they might would have need. I know we had collected, how much money was it, Bonnie? Like almost $700? And we went to this one little hole in the wall. Her name was Rosa. Was that her name? Rose. They called her Rose. She was always wanting you to give. Yeah, I take money. I take money. Always like, all right, Linda. But we did. We did the right thing. We went to Walmart. I said, well, Bonnie, you know this money was taken up from the church for us to help to do whatever we needed on this mission trip. And the men said, we don't need it. Y'all use it for whatever you need it for. We did everything that we needed to do for the pregnancy center. We asked those girls in there, are there anything you need? Oh man, they needed diapers, they needed wipes, and yeah, the orphanage. We supplied toys, sand toys, and towels, and sunscreen and stuff for them. They'd take the boys to the beach one day, and they'd take the girls to the beach on a different day. And so we were able to take that money that we got from Bible school and people who donated and use that money. And so we went to the grocery store and we bought up. She wanted ham, she wanted turkey, sausage. She just had a list of stuff that she had, and she kept it in freezers. And if people come in and ask for food, she give them food. And she had a little clothing closet in there. We helped straighten that up to the best of our ability. But yeah, but we noticed that that place is not there anymore, so we don't know where she's at or what she's doing. Yeah, because when we went on our last mission trip, there's nobody there. We did, and we used it. I said, that's what it's for. We use it. We use the money for that. But the Lord will bless it. You give it, He'll bless it. He'll take care of you.
I think one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn when you're talking about faith in God and trust in God
Mhm.
is it's His time and not yours.
Mhm.
I remember when Dad he was going in for cancer to see if he had cancer, and I had the biggest wave of peace come over me, and I'm like, okay, he's good. I'm a daddy's girl. He was like my BFF.
Mhm.
And we are super tight. And so I remember driving down the road and getting a call that he had stage 3 lung and throat cancer. I was so mad because I'm like, I don't understand. You gave me peace, and now you're telling me he has cancer. And it took me a while to understand because I had to realize that it may not have been okay in that moment,
Mhm.
but in the end, it was okay.
Yeah.
Because now he goes to church. He didn't before.
Right.
He's a deacon here.
That's right.
It
He's come a
completely,
long way. Yeah.
it completely,
The Lord's working in his life. Yeah.
that tragedy turned into something beautiful.
Mhm.
We just didn't see it at the time.
Yeah, you could think it's the worst of worst and things, and you can see changes, things that happen. Oh, I knew when that doctor didn't come in there. He normally said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "There's something wrong." He said, "Why you say that?" And I said, "Well, you can hear him in his office rattling papers, and we're right here, and we're the first one in here. Why is he not coming in here?" And sure enough, he did not want to give us that news. He did not. But he turned out being like a friend. He became to be a friend. So Norman fed him M&Ms after that. That's what he likes. So every time we went for an appointment, he had M&Ms. But yeah, God can turn any tragedy around, and you'll forget all about that because you look at the ending and what has happened. Yeah. Anybody else? Well, I appreciate y'all listening to me. Faithfulness in difficult times. Just remember, you can always go to God when you can't go to anybody else. He's always there. He's always listening. And He'll always be there. think about our new pastor? Got a good one, don't